plata o plomo. Leave my enemies for their kids. So you catch them. No. Ask me to blast, no need to ask, cause I'm mashing. Peeping the latest fashion, copycats and plastics. Get me the flash. My adversary shifting caskets, murdered them bastards. Witness the past got bombastic. Now that they free me, no one can see me. I completely eradicated my competition. Father, forgive me. Assemble the troops, prepare my loops for combustion. Rushing the motherfuckers, the deadliest nigga bust. How can they touch me when they lost in thought? On death row, we lock shit down across the board. Now flash and watch me getting that ass like a bikini. Lyrically legendary, some niggas will never see me completely defeat me. Could never happen whether rapping or scrapping. Niggas get smashed on their motherfucking back. Hard to kill and even harder to stop. Watch Kane and Pop drop the show shot. Tell a motherfucker you don't wanna die, and I don't wanna kill you. Keep my name out your mouth. For a nigga have to chill you, all my enemies brother. For the shit that they did, don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids, my only fear of death, can you hear me? Is coming back. Had enough of this bullshit world, so none of that. I felt no remorse for all the shit that we did. Niggas dying here to silence. If my enemies love their kids, don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids, so you catch them. No. Some motherfuckers gotta die.
I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let them.
My enemies love their kids, so you catch them. No. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids, don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
Shut the fuck up, nigga, cause you ain't seen shit. I'm about to take this blade and straight up grip. A hole in the neck of the devil and drink his blood, allowing the soil to be polluted by his evil root. And now I'm mad, insane, red as roses a strain when I search for my heartbeat. So thumpity thump when my pump in my verse. False alarms and no harm that will come into the E. But now I'm down to hour 23. Time is moving real fast and not that slow. I thought I had an hour, but it's seconds left to go. I run into the office, no more time is up, so I dive into the doctor with the bomb to my fuck and plant my seeds, leaving kids in this world like me. The lunatic psycho motherfucker easy.
Running after me, telling them high. When they ask why, I'm tripping off the top of my drop. Cause you know why, keep dipping on my block. They sell rocks and box with the frail cops. If not, we bust shots from blocks. Fuck cops, my only fear of death. Can you hear me? It's coming back. Had enough of this bullshit world, so none of that. I felt no remorse for all the shit that we did. Niggas dying here to silence. If my enemies love
Some
their
motherfuckers
kids,
gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let them.
so you catch them. No. My feet spread. If my enemies love their kids, so you catch them. No. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids, don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
See the shooters, see the money in the bag, see the D's in the unmarked. On a nigga ass, see 62 on the plate. When niggas bag up, scrape the plate, my nigga. Everything add up, I'm hungry. Like I've been missing the meal. Back writing like I need me a deal. I show you still. It's a jokes, nigga, feel a chill. Up your spine, I'm a menace for real. I blast to kill. Leave your brains on the dash and wheel. Mix the kush with the hash and chill. Let's talk bread. Them niggas in the way of the money, let's shoot ahead. The rest of them suckers are scattered, it don't matter. I'm trying to get my head right. I'm buggy like my headlights. Big Benz, big friends, bitch, get in. I blow 20 on the chain, 10 at the dice game. We used to be the same, now we not alike, man.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids, so you catch them. No.
Some motherfuckers gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let
My
them.
enemies love their kids, so you catch them. No. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids, don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids,
I left it all behind, cause I ain't got no roof on mine. I had to jump ship, I doubled back for my chips. My accountant handled my shit. I never been the losing kind. Grind, I'm feeling like it's year one. I'm a fool anywhere near square one. But ain't no glass ceilings, I crash through them. Ain't no cold spells, I light a match to them. Ain't no haters, right? Just say congrats to them. This is detox, it's rehab to them. I bring it back years later, let it flow through them. Putting that chronic in their system like I used to do them. Respected so it's proven, that's what I've been doing. Moving the game like waiting, everybody been using. Bitch, it ain't really nothing left to say. You're tuned in the detox, I am Dr. Dre.
don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids, so you catch them. No.
But I ain't going out unless 30 niggas die. I'm dying anyway, so I'm thinking suicide.
If my enemies love their kids, so you catch them. No. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids, don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids, why I have drama, nigga? Your baby mama stay right around the corner. I can touch it if I fucking wanna. So why you wanna insist that this? I got your name at the top of the fucking dead bitch list. Me, Mr. Machiavelli's terror. Back in the year, thug of the era, death row with outlaws. Nobody does this shit better. My lyrics explode on contact. Let's prepare for combat. Ain't no stopping, so bomb back. It's the last days. Niggas is dying for bullshit. Mac 11 is heavy, yet I'm ready to pull quick. Niggas ain't ready for a brother that's living major. Been witness to a sick motherfucker that's spitting razors. When I cut them, they cut. When I stick them, they stuck. In my ambitions to bust, cause I ain't giving a fuck. We tore the neighborhood up. Look at all the shit that we did. Murders and lifelong bids. If my enemies love their kids, you don't wanna die. And I don't wanna kill you. Keep my name out your mouth. For a nigga after G. All my enemies broke for the shit that they did. And for every G, I put a fucking slug in his head. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids. So you cats don't know.
Some motherfuckers gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let
My enemies love their kids. So you cats don't know. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids. Thinking sweet. So you cats don't know. Listen, money is missing and it's hectic. Found a safe, checked it. Shit looks neglected. Just what I expected when I got no word from him. Asked around, but ain't nobody heard from him. But money talks and most niggas are snakes. So it wasn't long before his man was ready to take me to where he was at. Check my gap doing a full clip. Pump myself up cause I can't go for that bullshit. Fucking with my last, throw the cash, ain't the issue. It's just real fucked up when your man tries to dish you. Thinking back on niggas in New York and how they told me so. Now I got to knock his boots. He owes me dough. Laying up with a hoe. Then he hit me with the sob story. The famous, oh, you didn't know I got robbed story. Told him it's me, you should be grateful too. Fuck that bitch. Look at what she made you do. Now there's love lost in a double cross. Pointed at that bitch, turned her brains into sauce. So you wanna be willing and talk to me like I'm silly. 5 bottles of more on the floor. Box the Phillies. 10 G's in the shoebox under the bed. And for every G, I put a fucking slug in his head. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids. So you cats don't know. Can't stop. Gotta eat. Stepping on my feet. Spread. If my enemies love their kids. So you cats don't know. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
Diamonds on my neck, chrome drop top, chilling on the scene, smoking pounds of green. Ooh wee, you see the ugliest, money hungriest, Brooklyn Loch Ness, 9mm cock test, one for test, and the winner is not that thinner kid, bandanas, tattoos, my fists never bruise, land still cruise, Frank White paid his dues, Max who's the raw, but they say Papa Very, look forward to me like commissary, all of a sudden, now everybody Big Willie, done did it, come with it, get your head split it, or get your neck slit it, admit it, you overdid it, you shit it, just ain't got that loud, go to shine like Kadow, Biggie Smalls, Ellis, and Al, phrase raise your eyebrow, by now you figure, he talking about that nigga, but your weak ass assumptions, lead led the dumping, IV the pumping, you're feeling something, catch my drift or catch my forfeit. At least 6 inches above project fences. Turn meet the minces. Jumps turn to flinches. When I rain out trenches, cleared your park benches. Missed you by inches. Your talk is senseless.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids. So you cats don't know.
Some motherfuckers gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let
My enemies love their kids. So you cats don't know. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
Circus in town, method bringing them ruckus. It's me versus these clowns, straight up bringing them brothers. My team holding it down, straight up bringing them butters. When I rain blowing them clouds, better bring them umbrellas. Brand new Margellas, my shoes is French and vanilla. She trying to trick a fella, I pick up my pen and tell her. Nobody do it better like DOC with them letters. Reverse though, you better be COD with my cheddar. These verse go harder than anything that you work for. Build it from the ground up, I just call it my first flow. Trying to turn that down if I get it from out the dirt, ho. Wrote the rhyme in cursive, but did it without a curse though. Wah wah, Cincha wata no shandan. Man trouble no one, sister Nancy no bam bam. Every time that I let the rhyme go, you can dearly be part if you ain't part of the combo. Let's get down to business. I ain't got time to play around with this. Bomb bomb. Every time that I let the rhyme go, you can dearly be part if you ain't part of the combo.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids. So you cats don't.
Some motherfuckers gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let
My enemies love their kids. So you cats don't know. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids. Don't make me murder.
reunite NWA. All purpose, try to surface, get nervous, more murders. Shit can just turn into the circus. I'm standing over the carcass. You look like the kind of nigga that'll press charges. We the largest, we the biggest, we the niggas with the attitudes, we longitude, you latitude. Have some gratitude to the niggas that started this shit. Been around forever, bitch. We smart at this shit. Talking to, we coming lying on records about what you do. We come shit y'all doing is played out and through. We come with that shit, we coming after you. Fake ass ballers who we talking to. Lying on records about what you do. The shit y'all doing is played out and through. Come with that shit, we coming after you. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
So you catch no low.
Some motherfuckers gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let them.
Enemies love their kids. So you catch no low. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids. They never thought they'd see this. Yeah. In case you didn't know, my flows grow for show. I'm making sure you niggas don't try me no more. Weak shit, you talking, I'm surprised that shit selling. Do for self niggas full of felons, who the fuck you telling? Bragging about money, where that shit be at. After videos, all that shit, we never see that. Bitches with big asses, blunts and big cars. Shot calling niggas, pissy drunk in them titty bars. Ren assassinating all of these. Whack ass rapping niggas that say they selling keys and pimping hoes and smoking 1,000,000 blunts a day. Shooting 100 niggas and saying they walked away without a scratch. Some Rambo shit, side of hand. Living with your mama talking about 100 grand. Nigga, please, who the fuck you think you talking to? Real niggas coming after you. We out. Fake ass ballers who we talking to. We coming lying on records about what you do. We come shit y'all doing is played out and through. We come with that shit, we coming after you. Fake ass ballers who we talking to. Lying on records about what you do. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
So you catch no low.
Some motherfuckers gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let them.
Enemies love their kids. So you catch no low. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids. Half these rap niggas wiping their tears. The other half wondering how the fuck they ain't got here. I took some demo. Frisco came back with a demo. Drove to Dre studio, came back in a limo. It was that simple. The crystal bottles and the bitches came later. And so did the haters. As the doc turns the knob on the fader, and I turn the TV cause I'm tired of watching the Raiders. Fast forward, the Shaq getting traded. Then fast forward again, the Shaq getting traded. And fuck all the time that was wasted beefing with these whack niggas had me lost in the matrix. If I wanted you thrown, I would just take it. Put this 38 to your dome, bitch, and just take it. I'm the music, and it's time to face it. You niggas so fucking pussy, just take it. Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
So you catch no low.
Some motherfuckers gotta die. I'm an evil motherfucker ready to tear shit up. I'ma put these things on you and never let them.
Enemies love their kids. So you catch no low. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their
I
kids.
jumped out of bed this morning feeling good in a motherfucker. Sunshine on my mind, give it to me, brother. Whoa, what he see what you discover. Stay high, but we gotta keep it on the under. Oh, I got this shit that makes me wonder. So fly, do or die, give me your number. Okay, KJ need to be the slumper. He is able, no cables, bitch, I be the shumper. 12 gauge, I call a rage, and I run the pumper. Let off a few shots, clack, clack, dumper. And now I'm sitting in my coupe, system banging like a motherfucker, big Snoop. Shitting it down, falling around with the pound. Gangsters make the world go round and round. You feel me now? I'm close so you can hear me now. West Coast little nigga, you can hear me now.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their kids.
So you catch no low.
But I ain't going out unless 30 niggas die. I'm dying anyway, so I'm thinking suicide.
If my enemies love their kids. So you catch no low. Stepping. If my enemies love their kids.
Don't make me murder you, nigga. If my enemies love their
My
kids.
motto is lit by the bottle, so why is my supply low? Bringing the truck load with a high low. Stay grounded, but I still reach for the sky though. Ghetto idol, I think, but what do I know? Shit, I know a lot more than I should. The hood stood by me just like I thought it would. Don't act like I'm Hollywood.
Welcome back to my world here on the internet. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp Jr. Seems like I'm having a little issues here. Bear with me just a few minutes as I situate everything and we'll get on with the program. Just bear
Okay.
with me.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me a minute. Mute yourself for a minute until I get this other crap out the way and I get everything situated. My computer is running kind of crazy at the moment because I was doing all that downloading. But yeah, mute yourself for a minute like that. I don't catch all the background noise while I'm trying to cover this other information. Apparently they could hear us, so it seems like we're on. Just give us a minute as everything get situated here, and we'll be right on here in just a second. Just bear with us. Computer acting funny at the moment, so let me situate it over here, and I will be right there with you. All right, all right. It looks like everything is working correctly now. Um, Brenda, can you please mute yourself from, or I do it from over here,
I'm
and then when
unmuted.
you're ready to no, you're unmuted. I need to mute you for just a minute,
Gotcha.
okay? I'll unmute you when I'm ready for you. All right. Now that that is situated, um, all right. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp Jr., coming at you with another one. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, that bell, do all them good things to support your boy out there on internet land. Today we're covering the situation with this little girl that apparently was missing out of Fort Myers, Florida. They investigators are saying that this little girl was found wandering along these apartments out there in Florida around 5 in the morning. That's wild. Um, the child was discovered near the Lexington Palms apartment complex, and, and that's off at 82. And they're trying to locate. Well, at that time, they was trying to locate this little girl's parents. I mean, it's crazy how people just lose their kids. They're asking if you have any information to contact one area code 239-321-7700 if you have any information on that. I'm go ahead and post a picture of the little girl just in case, you know what I'm saying? Even though that's out there in Florida, you never know. It's a small world. And you know what I'm saying? She could be in your surrounding areas. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. And I don't know why my computer's acting so funky. When I need it to act right, it gets to acting real funky. Just give me a minute. right, there we go. That's the little girl out of Florida. Any information on that, contact that phone number on the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and let Miss Brenda in. And we're going to get on to the topic on about little Dulce Maria Alavez. First and foremost, I want to clear something up. And let me get rid of this and do this real fast. I'm going to show you the reason why I've been posting videos up about the ex-spokeswoman in this case. Not that I got to explain myself, but I'm going to show the people why here in just a minute. All right. Stop sharing that one and share this one. All right. I'm using this new program that I don't really use that often, so you got to excuse me. But yeah, this is why I continue to make videos about this lady, because she literally accused me of trying to run her off the road, which at that time I was nowhere near Cumberland County. I mean, not that I gotta explain myself, but this is why. This is why. Okay. Now, with that said, I'm gonna let the ladies take it away. Let me stop sharing that. And let Miss Brenda take it away. Take it away, Miss Brenda.
Hello, everyone.
Take it away.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I just want to put out there that the kids are
Hear you loud and clear.
Well, that the kids are out there playing their usual Xbox game, and I am downstairs, so you might sound like a whole war zone in here, but they are only playing Xbox. And Anna's here too. Say hi, Anna. Hi. Anyway, it's sad. I didn't even know about that little girl that they found in Florida. But per that black eye, something must have not been going right. Yeah. I don't know if did you see it? Did you get to see the picture? Yeah. Of the little girl? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just start off by saying that every child, or matter of fact, it doesn't even have to be a child. It just has to be somebody in general who goes missing, right? Because once somebody goes missing, their voice goes with them. So there's nobody, and when I say nobody, there's plenty of family members that would defend and speak up for someone who's missing, right? Yes. Right? Yep. Anybody can, right? Yep. So when the family decides to extend their hands to have other voices stand up for somebody, I don't understand why it has to be narrowed down to only one person in the entire U.S. that's allowed to talk about a missing child, right? Yes. So the reason why I'm saying this is because not only are there a lot of things that are going around here that do deter from Dulce actually being found, and one of the main reasons is because in the very beginning, as we all know, right, we all started in the very beginning, right? How long have you been injected in this case?
2 weeks after she went missing.
2 weeks after she went missing, right? Yes. And if I recall, it was my very first day of work, and guess what? I was at Metro PCS starting my brand new job in Roanoke, Virginia. And the good old thing about Alavez is that we was in Virginia, 9/16 of 2019, right before I went to go to work, because I was supposed to start my shift at 6 o'clock. It was my very first day. I was supposed to start my shift, right? So as I'm putting on that purple shirt, right?
And none of us got child sexual predator charges on us neither.
No. But so on September, right, of when it occurred, I was putting on my shirt to go to work. So as I was putting on my shirt, something came up across the TV and it said missing child from Bristol, New Jersey. But at first I just looked, but didn't really pay attention to it until it showed the park, Bristol Park. And at that time, I went up in front of the TV screen and I was like, you've got to be kidding me, right? Because we all know Bushland Park.
Yes.
And Bushland Park is loaded with people all the time. Does not necessarily mean, it doesn't mean if it was a Monday on September 16th of 2019 at approximately 4 something in the evening that there wasn't people there. There was people there, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, I was in Virginia. Had I been here when it first started, the possibilities of Dulce being found by now probably would have been greater than what they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So anyway, so I was putting on my shirt and I'm thinking the whole time as I'm going to work, I was like, that cannot be. Like, that was my grandmom's ultimate favorite place to take us all the time. And I remember getting up on a canoe, her paying that little thing to the little canoe guy, and I hated those damn canoe trips. Okay? But the whole thing is that when my grandma put us in that canoe to go have fun by ourselves, she never thought of us being kidnapped. She always thought of us drowning, but never kidnapped. And you know, when you take those canoe rides, there are an hour-long canoe ride by yourself, which is you and your brother, who was the biggest clown in the world, who would jump from the canoe onto the land to like mess with me. That's why I don't like dark water. And plus, I've always thought that the Cohansey had plenty of dead people underneath. I don't know why me and the Sunset Lake don't get along. I've always thought that the Sunset Lake, somebody was just going to snatch me up out the water. But anyway, that's besides the point. Okay? So anyway, so we come on, right? And you want to find out from somewheres where you practically had your whole life out until you were 16, because every month your grandma will pay that little senior citizen ticket on the bus, because she was a very poor person. She got us on that bus, right? She paid them little 60 cents because we rode for free until we was like, what, 12? That's how it goes on the New Jersey Transit. You ride for free till you're 12.
Yep.
Right? So we rode for free. My grandma paid her little 60 cents. We used to go over there at least twice a month. Right? So you would never think that somewhere where you shared so many memories from, right?
Yes.
So many memories that a little girl would have been missing from there.
Yep.
So what are you going to do about it? You want to look into it, right?
Yeah, you're going to get
because ain't nothing
involved.
like that ever happened in Cumberland County, but it did. Because as we searched for other missing children, who did we come up with?
Billy.
55 years little Billy went missing from around here.
Yes.
And guess what? We went to school. I went to school here in Cumberland County all the way to high school. Now, one time did I ever hear about little Billy until little Dulce went missing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would think, wow, now you're finding out that the whole time while you were in school, there was actually a child who's never even been found.
Yes.
For how many decades when we were young? And I'm 40. All right? And little Billy's been missing for 55 years. Okay? And I'm 40. And I didn't hear about none of that until Dulce disappeared. Right?
Yeah, I didn't know about it either until Dulce disappeared.
Right. So like I said, when people go missing, who's going to be their voice, right?
Yeah.
The people who can actually speak.
Yep.
Right? The people who are going to be standing up behind someone and making sure that justice or awareness or anything will be served regardless of whatever. Okay? Because you know what? Let me tell you something. If right now they shot and killed somebody in the alleyway, right?
Yep.
That's considered murder.
Yes.
They would probably come look at somebody who's investigating a murder, right? Or somebody who had already committed murder, right?
Yes.
But that's not how it goes for Dulce, because what are they saying? That it was a crime of opportunity for someone who sat there and liked to watch children and took the opportunity to take her, correct?
Yep. Opportunist.
Right?
Yep.
That's what the FBI man said.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did say that.
He did say that, right? An opportunity was taken. Necessarily didn't even mean that it could have been Dulce, right?
Yes.
He didn't state that person was there watching and obsessing over Dulce.
Right.
There was two
It could
other.
have been any child.
It could have been anybody. And you know what's unfortunate? That it was Dulce. And you know what's unfortunate? That Dulce's family has a past. And you know what's unfortunate? That during the whole time that everybody was looking for something, that's all we found was just that. And we spoke on that. You want to know why? We spoke on that because people told us that there was people out there that were throwing hits and things like that. If anybody ever came out and spread awareness on Dulce, that the gangs were quieting up people. Oh, don't speak on that because the devil's gonna come out and get you. Oh, don't do that because
the Jersey Devil. It could have been
right,
the
or
Jersey
the
Devil.
Jersey
coming
Devil.
out to get.
Correct. And then anyway, so at that time, nobody really wanted to come out. Nobody really wanted to do anything. Everybody just wanted to be home and do internet awareness. Why? Because nobody wanted to open their front door and physically go out there and search for this little girl.
Actually,
because everybody, well, you did, I did, because I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
We don't care. We're still going to go because you know what? We didn't see those people coming knocking on our doors. We didn't see those people.
We ain't never scared. That's why.
Nope.
We didn't see those people telling us and inboxing us, telling us, hey, you don't talk like that because she belongs to me. Or none of that stuff. You want to know why? Because now those people that told us that people were doing things to them, they are the only ones doing it to us. Ain't that funny?
That's very funny.
Ain't that
ridiculous?
Funny? Isn't that crazy?
That's very crazy.
So now I come and I move out here to Cumberland County. Almost in December of 2019, right? Came across, got with Anna, got with a few other people, right? And at the beginning, like I said, we all pointed fingers. And I believe that I've even came clean to Noema right after the silent walk, right?
Yeah.
When I spoke to her in the van and I told her I was one of the many people that were pointing fingers at you, right? And what did she say? It was okay because you probably didn't know nothing,
right?
Which is true. Yeah. You probably didn't know nothing.
Going off of other people,
right? We was going on what was being said about.
Right.
I never took it to granted because I'm a Libra, so I weigh things out, and I'm like, no, maybe, nah, stranger abduction.
Right.
I kept on saying stranger abduction. I don't care about her past.
Right.
I just everything that I researched, it just seems to me stranger abduction.
Right.
And it's nothing to do with the smart girl, Elizabeth Smart, or the girls in the Ohio. It was somebody that wanted to watch children. As soon as they said they wanted to watch children, and they took her, and who knows?
Right. So that's what I say, right? But we've always said that. It could have been a debt. We all say that.
Yeah.
And it still could be a debt. Whose debt does it belong to? Nobody knows. Okay? But then the other thing is, it could have been the crime of opportunity. It could have been somebody with those little lurking eyes watching children, right? Because why? Because when we go there, how many people are looking at us?
A lot.
How many people sit in their car and they're drinking beer while they're staring at the playground? How many people are doing that?
I've gone there a lot of times,
right.
And I see them deal drugs. I see them drink beer.
Right. But you see them there just watching the park drinking alcohol. But who does that? So it doesn't even matter. Somebody was there and they just wanted a kid that day. Because there was plenty of other people there that day. Those two young girls probably could have been his victim. Okay? But he figured that he would lure a little child because it was easier. Because you know why? For that split minutes that Noema sat in that car scratching that darn lottery ticket that she will forever regret for the rest of her life.
That's where she screwed up. And that's where I said it back then and I say it now. That's where she went wrong at. That's where she
went wrong. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where she was negligent. And I said it back then and I'll say it now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't no secret.
Right. And she admits it though now. She says it was a mistake. A mistake she would, if Dulce never appears, it would be a mistake that she would have to carry on for the rest of her life.
The rest of
her life. And she would have to go on and explaining to Manny for the rest of his life, for the rest of her life. Yeah. When you say how many kids you have and one of them is not there. Right? You would forever still have to say the same story. Yeah. I chose to sit in the park. That's all she could say. I chose to sit in the car. She made that choice to sit in the car, and obviously she's regretting that choice. Exactly. Regardless if she's what? Regardless of what? Nothing. She made that choice to sit in the car. But if we look at it from our perspective, it's really not that far from the car. Right. It's really not that far from the car. Like that park to an angle is really not that far. And it was a park that Dulce was always at all the time. She was familiar with that park, right? Because
Yes.
basically all her pictures, from her grandma's profile to her mom's profile, they were all at the park. The zoo, splash pad, the park. I mean, so many areas in there. The lake that was in there, in Sunset Lake. There were so many things that the family used to do every single time in that park. So how do we not know that this person who was out there watching noticed, wait a minute, she's free today, and probably watched her for a long time. Remember, she used to bring the dog with her every day to the park until somebody started complaining about that dog.
Yep.
So she left the dog at home. All of a sudden, that same day that she leaves the dog, Dulce disappears.
They were waiting.
They were waiting for the, you want to
They
know
were
why?
waiting.
Because Dulce owns a pit bull mix boxer dog that they were probably very protective. My Chihuahua is protective.
I know.
My Chihuahua is very protective. You swing on one of these children playing around, and that Chihuahua will snap at you, even if it's me. But if they scream, like if I hurt them, the dog will come for me.
Yep.
And then they said that the dog was never on the leash, but she always stated that the dog was friendly. It wouldn't never bite anybody. But that dog intimidated the abductor that was there lurking.
Right.
Because you know why? Because that dog, that person knew that once she was there without a dog, it was a free call, and she was going to be gone.
Yep.
Those are so many scenarios, and let me tell you, okay? So she's missing. So who's going to stand up for her? You know what I mean? In order for you to find out where Dulce's at or what could have literally happened to Dulce, this extra underlining stuff that's going on has to be cleared, okay? Because let me explain something to you. How do we go from wheeling this family back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
From wheeling this family back in to feeling comfortable enough to go back out in the streets, you know, do whatever it is that they want to do, right? How do we wheel this family back in and then everything just goes sideways since the silent walk? Instead of good things prospering from that day and any days after that, we never came in contact with any gangs.
Nope.
That took Dulce.
Nope.
We never came in contact with anybody telling us, you can't do that because I will do something to you, right?
Yeah.
We did the walk. We walked all the way to the police station, okay? The police even gave my husband and my brother a ride.
They escorted us.
And they escorted us. They
Sure
thanked
enough
us
did.
for being civil.
And I'm such a criminal. Yeah, I'm an ex-felon, but
But he gave you a ride. Right. Right. But then they gave you a ride, you know? So anyway, so the whole thing is that there should just never be one voice to do support, right? Because we never said we were spokespersons. We never said we were advocates.
No.
None of that stuff.
Mm-mm.
What we wanted to do was find out if what was already out there was truth, right? We wanted to see if we really did go out there, a gang member was going to run us down, or there was going to be, you know, all of this crazy, delusional, fantasy, created paranoia.
Yep.
But you know why you can create all of that? Out of guilt. Because in order for you to cover your guilt, you have to keep on lying.
Yeah.
So then in order for you to cover that lie, you got to keep on lying. And then the paranoia is going to set in because the police is going to come get you. Because it's called doxing. You know, it's called doxing.
Me personally, I really don't think that is a guilt thing. I think that is just an attention thing. It's an attention, you know, that's my opinion. I think that is just an attention thing. If you notice, you know, I mean, all the extra activities that's going on in that person's world, how she moves and whatnot, it is evident. It's evident that she's just seeking attention any way she could get it.
And you're right. And it's okay. You know what? It's okay for somebody to want the fame. But do not obtain this fame by saying, like right after the silent walk. What did they say? That this family was paying us to run people, to do this, to do that. Oh, the red flags. Call the FBI because these people, Anna and her clowns got information that these people shouldn't have. And this was in the very first days, and now we was called criminals.
Right after that, the silent walk, it was called Anna's and her clowns. Anna Donnelly and Brenda Trinidad have
I left my court paper
big
upstairs.
information or whatever it is from they're keeping from the police. Any information that we get, we send it to the police, the FBI. I will go in person if it's big enough. Brenda will probably go in person if it's big enough. Right. You know, no one's withholding any information.
But that's what we said in the beginning, right? Because we was like, what? What the hell is this lady talking about? Like, withholding what? That we have evidence for the FBI. She wanted so bad for the FBI to kick our door down and arrest us over her little words. The clear picture here is that the FBI is not looking for any of us.
Yeah.
Okay? The FBI is not looking for none of us because the FBI already knows who they are looking for. Yep. Just have not found them.
Yep.
Because if you know, the prosecutor says that every tip that's submitted is looked into.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of you taking these complaints straight up to the prosecutor and saying, hey, Norma sending these people and she's paying the money to run me off the road,
mm-hmm.
to threaten, to harass, right? To bully, to annoy, everywhere. But she didn't. What she did was that she took it to TikTok, hoping that TikTok can solve the problem for her. And when you take it up to TikTok, instead of taking it up to the courts, you're initiating hate, you're initiating anger, okay? And you're sitting here, let me see, allowing a crowd that when one of us can possibly be walking down the street, we can be a target for no reason.
Yep. Just because we did the silent walk.
Because we did the silent walk and the silent night and we did our contributions as people. Because when we tried to do something, everybody used to fight for that day. Correct or not correct?
Okay, that's true. That's
right?
True. Yeah.
Okay. When we try to do something, what did we say, Anna? Let them do it. It's their year. And what did I say this year? Oh, smack. Nobody got the slap. Let's see. And Norma was already trying to plan to do something, but she just really didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So we made her some suggestions. Everything was organized. It was a freaking awesome day.
It was very good.
Okay. It was a very great day. And I thought that was a very good breakthrough for Dulce. You want to know why? Because it was something impactful and positive.
That's why it was a silent walk.
But there was
nobody.
Right. So no, and I said it in the thing, right? This family is not necessarily the kind of family that you might want when a child goes missing. But she's still missing, unfortunately. So whether or not we like and we agree with this family's background, that's not who we're starting it for, because the group literally says that, right? That the justice is for Dulce.
Yes.
And in order for you to serve justice, you have to squish all this fraudulent stuff. No way in time should you take this child's name in vain like that and say that you're living your life out of fear because this family is paying people to harm you. Okay? And not only did you not take it up to the lead detective in this case, or the FBI in this case, you skipped British police. They weren't even aware of what was going on until we went up there. Okay? They weren't even aware of what was going on.
Nope.
But what did they tell us? They told us that we have to wait for the judge, right?
Yes.
To see us, which, by the way, nobody has seen us yet because we don't have a court date. So there is no grand jury because we never even went up to see a judge. But he said, his own words,
it's
right?
Floating.
It's floating. We have to see what the judge is going to say so we can press charges where they need to be pressed. And we was right there.
Yes. Exactly what they said.
And we was right there. Okay, and that was after we spoke to Detective Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what that, his name was with a P. What the heck was his name? Detective, it starts with a P. Anyway, well, like he said, you know, he asked us to stop and we did for 6 weeks, right? He asked us, let her, I'm going to speak to her, right? You guys stop, and we did. But she still continued, so we reached out to Gabaran, right? So the FBI, yes. We spoke to him.
Yep.
Right? We emailed everything that we had to email. Now, whether they follow through with it or not, but like he said, we have to wait for the court date because they are thoroughly looking at stuff. Okay? Because when you put on a complaint that all of this is happening to you over a high-profile case named Dulce Maria Alavez, okay, you are sending red flags, not just to the municipal where you wrote your complaint at. It's going to go off that municipal and it's going to go to where it belongs, and that's in the city of Bushton.
Yep.
Because you're talking about something that's happening in the city of Bushton, which you didn't bring none of this up to the city of Bushton. You try to go to multiple cities and do something.
Yes, Vineland, Franklinville, and
Millville,
Atlantic.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere.
They told me
with the same story of that this child's mother and family is sending out people to intimidate, harass, bully, run you off the road. And then on top of that, on the criminal complaint, on my criminal complaint that she put on there, she says that my husband is an ex-felon. You don't think I knew that when I got together with this man?
That has nothing to do with
no, but I'm saying
it's just like
right.
She shouldn't be saying.
That's all she wrote. She made it seem okay. Because when I met her in person, just like when I met you in person, right? I told you we had charged. You know, we were truthful.
Yeah.
Why hide anything? I've always said it since day one. But what's the problem here is that when the publicity started shifting to Dulce, the counteract of jealousy started happening to where whatever was going on, she wanted to grab back that fame, and that little bit of attention that Dulce was given, she took her voice away, just like many other voices that are taken away that you don't hear no more, right?
Summer.
Right? And that's like me. She puts up here all these Brenda Trinidads that are up here in court, that I hope that those other Brenda Trinidads look into this right here and get her too for that. Okay? Because I didn't even know it was a crime. I didn't know that Brenda Trinidad, I didn't even know it was a criminal to drive without a freaking license. Did you know that? Did you know that?
It's a crime.
If you leave your registration at the house, you're a criminal, girl. If you get pulled over, you're a criminal. Yeah. Because that's all those Brenda Trinidads, that's what it was. No driver's license possession. Oh, except the simple assault. That simple assault one, that was me. Oh, yeah, that was me. And I say that loud and proud. Matter of fact, that was in 2005. I smacked up my baby dad. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I smacked him up. And you know why? He deserved it. Because if I explain what he did, okay, when you're with an abusive man like that,
mm-hmm.
That's a voice that's also taken when you can't defend yourself, right? All right? Because an abusive person like that is a manipulator.
Yes.
Okay?
That is absolutely.
A man that lays hands on you like that, you have the rights to defend yourself.
Oh, yes.
So I'm proud when I see Brenda Trinidad up there and that simple assault comes up. I'm very proud.
You
of myself.
Yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I did, girl. Let me tell you. Yes, I did. And you want to know why I defended myself? I'm gonna tell you why I defended myself. My grandma just had colon cancer surgery. She just got a colostomy bag, right? She got sent home from the hospital. My son Josiah was not even a year old yet. I just had Josiah. He wasn't even a year old yet. Oh, I told my friend that my grandma wanted Kentucky Fried Chicken. My friend was like, put her on the phone. My friend Chavo. Put her on the phone, the Kentucky Fried Chicken. So she calls her and she's talking to her, and she said, Chucky, what you want? And she said, oh, I want Kentucky Fried Chicken. So my friend brings her the Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? And then, so when she brings the chicken, he gets real jealous. Mind you, my grandma just had surgery and she just came out. There's even a hospital bed for her in the living room set up. Okay?
Yep.
And when she brought her that chicken, he got jealous because my friend was gay. And the way my friend plays around, you have to understand her.
Right.
That's how she always plays around.
Right.
Right? So at that time, he got real jealous. And when I offered him a piece of chicken and I turned around, he punched me dead in my eye.
Oh my goodness.
After I asked him, did you want a piece of chicken? And he told me, yeah. I seen he was upset. I try to avoid him. I still try to go on. You want to know why? Because my grandma just had surgery and she was laying up on that hospital bed in my fucking living room. Sorry for my French. And I was not going to allow her to see that. Right. So when he punched me in my eye, I looked at my grandma. She looked so confused. Then he grabbed me by my hair and he threw me on the floor and he tried to drag me all over that little apartment, saying that I was a lesbian. When I got the energy to get up after I heard my grandma crying and my son was crying from afar, I got the urge to get up and I smacked him up. Yes, I did, with the phone.
What did he do? What did he do?
He punched me in my eye after I offered him a piece of chicken.
He wasn't hungry.
I know. Well, obviously he wanted my eye, babe. So anyway, so he punched me in my eye, right? And you know who I'm talking about? I'm talking about Chavo. You know how Chavo be playing around? So
yeah,
he
punched. That's my homie right there.
Right. Little crazy ass woman. Anyway. Whoa, let me not talk about her because she might want to pull her up too. Anyway. Yeah, because you can't say names, girl. Anyway, so he punched me in my eye, he grabbed me by my hair, and he pushed me down the floor. And as I hear my grandma crying, right, that she can't even get up to help me, and I'm confused just as much as she's confused, and you got your son crying over there who's 7 months, he's confused. What are you going to do? You're going to freaking defend yourself.
Defend yourself.
And if everybody really wants to go in those little charges, you can see each one of those charges say dismissed. 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 Oh, and I got pulled over on October 13th of 2021. Remember that? When I was going to the tree and my dealer tags was expired. My dealer tags was expired and I get pulled over.
Yeah.
So if I had a warrant or anything like that, would I have been calling you, Anna, telling you
nope.
I'm running late because I just got pulled over?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
I would have been getting arrested.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So none
because
of that
they
is
run
me.
your driver's license anyway when you get pulled over.
Right. So the only actual two things on there is the 101321 with the dealer tags and the simple assault that's on the very top. And I'm proud of that simple assault. And I will wear that simple assault all the way until I die. And I don't care.
They just mad because we don't got to get on TikTok and beg for money to take vacations. We could actually just hop in our car or hop in an airplane and just take a vacation because we can. You know what I'm saying? They got to get on TikTok and seek attention so they could get them subscribers or whatever it is so they can monetize their shit and get a little bit of money out of that. If they only knew it's not that much money, I'd do it. But it's really not a lot of money. It's only a little bit. Pocket change, baby. But you gotta use your noggin. Use your noggin.
Right. But but either way, her putting all those little petty charges up there. And then the hindering of false. That was hindering oneself with false. I believe that this was on 4/10/2006. That's not me. They actually have an active. This person still owes money to the Millville. Oh. So when I got pulled over on 10/13/21, don't you think they would have said, "Hey, come here, Miss Trinidad.
Yeah, you would have.
You got this right here, right?" Mm-hmm. That's not me. So, but it would be fair, when we put in certain people's names, prostitution and everything came up, right? But we would be wrong if we actually said this might be her, but we don't, because we know we can't do that unless you have a driver's
Right.
license, a birth date,
Right.
a social security number to do actual ID of that charge that pertains to that person. And first and foremost, when you do it that much and you're going further and further and further and further and you keep on digging, you're doing nothing but digging yourself. But when it says that, what does her grandfather have anything to do with it? I mean, it does have a whole lot of things to do with it, because if you took that little 12-year-old girl, when he told her, take these $10 and don't tell nobody, I believe somebody said something like that to somebody. And that's something that they hold in their conscience for their entire life.
Right.
And when he did that and he handed that girl over $10, you know what he did? He took her voice. He tried to take her voice. And you know what? I congratulate that girl for going straight to her home to her mother and not caring about what he just said to her, and reported that right away so they can collect evidence. Yep. I congratulate that little girl at 12.
I do too.
That's crazy.
Going to her mother right away, because that's what kids are supposed to do.
They said this man was a habitual, meaning more than once.
Right. And then how he bought clothing so she can put on this different clothing. We don't, when you look at things like that, right? Like I said, when he handed over that money to her, he told her, after he violated her, he still wanted his freedom. So that's how I feel like Dulce. After they violated her by taking her away from that part, this person still wants their freedom.
Yes.
Right? And that's crazy when you want to shut every voice off because everyone stands behind the one person, and it's the child. And I always say like that to my daughter, to my son. I don't care if somebody does something to you and I'm not well aware of it, and they say, and they tell you, I will kill your mother. Just know that your mother's crazy. And I always say it to y'all, right? Just always don't ever fear to tell me that somebody has violated you in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That crossed the boundaries to where you felt disrespected. I would hope that they tell me anything like that when it comes down to something like that. But for you to hand over that little girl $10, yeah, that's a big thing. You want to know why? Because Dulce was taken from a crime of opportunity. All right, and what you're doing now is that you're shutting out Dulce's voice and using yours. And then you can also see how they said that they were against the police officer who was charging her grandfather with the crime.
Right.
Saying what? That he didn't know what he was doing? He don't know his job? You know what I mean? When you do that, you try to shut that girl's voice out. And I could only imagine how that family is too. If she's doing this to Dulce, I could imagine that family as well. Oh. I could imagine the hatred against somebody for standing up for themselves. Because that's what happens. When you stand up for yourself, that's what happens. They want to say things to you to knock you down. To see if you stay down. No, you don't stay down off of fraudulent stuff.
No.
Go in the cage. Okay? And the bullying and telling me to be quiet, I don't take that very lightly. Because we heard that throughout the whole 2 years. Or the chief said don't say this. Or the chief doesn't want me to talk about nothing. And I kept asking. I was like, what is there, like a gag thing on this? A gag order?
I remember when the letters, everybody got quiet and we thought it was a gag order.
It got quiet because she was not around.
For real, I think that the letters that she got, I think she wrote them to herself. I really deep in my heart believe that.
Yeah, I mean, how
We'll
can you
never
get
know.
one?
We'll never
Yeah,
know.
but I'm hoping that the state of Ohio is still looking into who dropped off those letters over there that it wasn't referenced to, whether or not anything that's on in there contributed into finding Dulce. But somebody literally took the time out to write those letters and disperse them in that manner.
Yeah.
Okay, and some of them didn't even go through the post office. Like, let me explain something to you. How did the one in the custard in Ohio? How did the custard stand in Ohio get a letter in the lady's mail, in her thingy, and she dropped it off? Didn't even have a postmark. Hers didn't even have a
Yeah, I
postmark.
mean,
So how did it even get
if
through
it
the
didn't have
hands
a
of the postmark?
postmark, if it
I
didn't have a
don't know.
postmark, then it didn't
Unless
go
they
through the post
physically
office.
put it in her. Well, no, I don't know. She has
And it
a
wasn't
PO
even
box,
addressed to
so.
her name.
Huh?
Wasn't even addressed to her name. You talking about these Ohio letters came out almost in March of 2020. Okay, these Ohio letters came out. By then,
Right
they
before
already
the
knew what your
pandemic.
name was because you was plastered everywhere. But they didn't initiate to your name. And that's right. Why isn't Biden or wherever the hell this location was at looking into who actually walked in there and actually put that in her mailbox? Because
I don't even know if what is it, a PO box?
it's a P.O. box.
So I don't even know unless they work for the postal system.
But either way, there's cameras. Go in there and verify who did that.
Because that's impossible unless, I mean, I don't even know if there's a little spot where you can just slide it right in there.
They mailed the letter to the P.O. box?
Yeah, but you wouldn't think that
There's
the
no-
kidnapper or the person who was behind those letters would have wanted to personally send one out to the family.
I would think they would want to send it to the family.
Why would they
Right.
mail it to her actual address?
But when they dispersed it, I don't know. When they dispersed it, they did it to three things, right? A 76 truck stop, right? A casino, and a custard stand out there, right? And then Jackie at a P.O. box. So they send it to the gaming casino, the custard, and then the truck stop, right? And then her. What is that? What was that? Nothing. Anyway. So back to these, let me see. So since September 16th, we can account that, including this video, we've done about 16, maybe 20 videos tops since September 16th.
Yes.
In reference to what's going on with us, right? With the outside skirts of whatever's going on. But, because I have them here. But if you go on to somebody else's page, you'll see that it's more than 60 videos of us screaming that the family, all of this stuff, just crazy stuff. Anyway, you're never gonna find anything worthwhile on Dulce if some of these things are not removed. Like, you know, even including us, we shouldn't have to be up here explaining to people why things are happening the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
We shouldn't be up here not only defending, because we're not, I don't care. I'm defending this little girl's name because one thing's for sure and two things is for certain, that I really don't want the community to think that we're even doing any of this crazy stuff, because that would just take away, again, one more voice that can help Dulce.
Exactly.
It's that, you know, when you're not doing nothing wrong, there's really nothing to worry about. The people,
Right.
the community could literally do their own research and see what's really good. You feel me? That's why when your conscience is clear, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, because I always be thinking, about all these fake profiles since day one. You be thinking about all these fake profiles. Okay, I remember somebody telling me one day, let me see, it was back in like October. Nope, it might have not have been October. I think it was like July or so, where they asked me.
2020?
Yeah, July of 2020.
Oh,
no, 2020.
Okay.
That was the last time I even was in a group chat. Anyway, like July of 2020, I believe, they had asked me to make a fake profile to get into certain groups from Mexico because Dulce's father resides there in Sonolia.
Oh.
Thanks, there you go.
Yep. They asked me to make a fake profile so we can join these groups from Mexico because Dulce's father lives in Sonolia, Mexico. And what did I say?
No.
Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to make a fake profile?
Because you're just as bad as other people. That would be just as bad as other people.
Right. No. You want your fake profiles, you make them. And there's plenty out there that already been made.
Yep.
You just got to find out who's the fakester.
Well, when you see it says join in 2021, then.
Right. They all know. And then the thing is that some of them were created like so many years ago that are like really, really, really fake. And it makes me wonder, why does this person have so many fake profiles from decades ago?
Right. Maybe trying to cause more problems for other people before.
No, but for real. Because, I mean, you have, what was it? Oh, let me see. There was a fake profile that used to be entertained a lot. And like I said, the profile could be fake, but how you write is how you write.
Right.
It carries on with you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? How you write is how you write. It carries on with you. One thing used to strike me was that this one person said, and I still wonder, how would this person know that if they don't know anything, right? Mm-hmm. One person said, did Noema's family tell the police that Dulce had a birthmark? And mind you, I went back and I looked on the thingy and I tried to see if maybe there was a distinguished birthmark.
Hold on, repeat that again.
That conversation,
I missed that. Repeat that again.
About the birthmark? Yeah, there was a fake profile that was entertaining somebody. And one day they hit up somebody and said, I wonder if Dulce's family ever told the cops that Dulce had a birthmark. And I got to go, I have it.
Unless it was a visible birthmark. They don't have to. If it was visible birthmark, like, she has a birthmark on her neck, so people can distinguish if it was her. Then.
No, it would be any birthmark, right, as far as that you know of. When a child goes missing, they ask you for everything. Yeah. Okay. They ask you, do they have a scar from an injury? Oh, like, is there an injury or a scar? Do they have plates on them? Do they have fillings? Do they have tubes in their ears? They ask you all of that to make the person identifiable in case they do find them. Mm-hmm. There's certain distinguishing marks and certain things that they can come across. Yeah. Like this one lady, there's just this one lady that went missing in Roanoke, Virginia. They knew it was her after they found her because of the plate in her knee. 4.
So
3 or 4.
Is this 10 years ago?
Almost, yeah.
Okay, because I'm telling
you. But that's you. Yeah, that's my daughter when she was little. But anyway, so they have to make they have to ask you all of those questions. Anyway, so this person used to say a lot like how when Dulce got involved with his family after Dulce disappeared. Of course, it was going to get involved after Dulce got disappeared. What do you think? It was neglect. There's a freaking child missing. You think that
that's automatic?
Right. That's
automatic.
Right. That's literally. But guess what? It only sticks to you when the findings are findings.
Right.
When there's no findings, they let you go.
That's why it's called findings.
Right. Right. but she still has custody of her kids. So obviously there
She
was
has
nothing to
custody of
find,
all 3 of her kids.
right? And remember when we went to go help her with the apartment application?
Yeah.
Where she says she can't put Dulce on because she doesn't have custody of her, right? So because she only has custody of her other kids.
She has custody
Because she gave full custody to her mother.
The 3 kids, but Dulce is
the only one.
The only one that's with her mom.
Right. And that she can't put her on there, right? So she doesn't have custody of Dulce.
Right.
I've always said that the grandma is, you know what I mean? I never really felt the grandma, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, as far as, you know, you could say contradictions or whatever, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? I call it as I see it.
Mm-hmm. But like I'm saying, yeah, well, I mean, we're never going to find out anything if what's circulating now is more of us versus actually what's going on with Dulce. And that's a shame because you put a picture up there of that little girl and nobody would like that. Let me tell you, 6 months ago, Jennifer put up a thing about Dulce and there was only 3 likes and 16 views.
Jennifer? Who's Jennifer?
The prosecutor.
Oh, yeah. 3
likes and 16 views in 6 months that thing's been up there. Okay? But you put in a drama and under false pretenses like this, and that circulates quicker than the shit in the sewer.
Well, that shouldn't even be circulating. It should have been just about Dulce. It's not about me, you, anybody. It's
right.
Dulce.
And then she's up here throwing. And then what I don't get is we didn't never put anything up there about charges on nobody. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Nope.
All of a sudden, you want the world to know who we are. When if you ask around, they already know. You're wasting people's times. Right. That doesn't even make us less of a person.
No.
You know?
Sure enough. You can go on my website and get my whole my whole story.
I know. Get yourself a free t-shirt while you're there. And exactly. And we have all this. We could have landed so much publicity, right? And sitting here saying, hey, buy one of our t-shirts or join for this. And not one time did we do any of that.
Nope.
We utilized the YouTube because that was already his platform.
Right.
And we asked him to help us spread awareness for Dulce.
So just, you're
right.
Just like you're asking.
He didn't even inject himself in
do
there.
The same thing for Dulce, and they're doing it. The ones that are really popular.
No, but they barely didn't want to do it. In the very beginning, who was doing anything for this little girl? Nobody. We had to use our own media stream and our own outlets to get her name going out there.
Yep.
And what was the first thing? My husband always says it all the time, even when we was allowing her to get on and do lives. What did he say? He used to sometimes hang up on us because he says, I don't do drama. And boop, he used to shut us out.
I remember I was searching on Shiloh when I went over and I had a picture and they're like, she's still missing. We thought she was found.
Right. Everybody
Shiloh
thinks she's found.
Think that they don't even know. People on the outskirts think that she was found. They don't even know that she's still missing. They're like, what? She's still missing? Oh my God.
Yeah, and then they hear about this, talking about we are trying to intimidate, harass, pull people. Like when she said that my husband was sitting here trying to push her off the road. And then say she didn't say that, but clearly her words are there. She did say that. At first she said it was my son who was supposed to be working at that time, which by the way, she wasn't even supposed to be at his job site. She was supposed to be at her job site, which wasn't even in the city where my son was working at. So my concerns was, why was she stalking my 17-year-old and watching his little every move while he was working?
Right.
But as a mom, I felt like I had to wait a minute. My son is underage. Why are you watching him at his job site?
Right.
And then sit here and use whatever was going on at that time and say that it was my son that tried swiping you. But once again, he's going to court also, and we have timestamps of work. There's so many things on that, right? And then what you have to provide proof of is that there was an actual cop, right, responding to a call that had to do with that.
So the cop if there is a report on that, it's a report, but you don't know who it is. You can't go accuse somebody of doing it, an innocent person.
And if there is, and if that person, and if that person that she filmed is innocently being charged with something, I want to find out if that really did happen, so they can really look into that, because we don't even know if that actually happened.
Right.
Because he would have been arrested.
Yes.
That's why when this thing finally gets heard by the judge, that's why I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. But you know what I'm saying? I don't say what I'm gonna do. I just do.
No, that's just showing words on how many times did her story shift since September 16th. Because when the newspaper outlets came out and the silent walk was up there and the community looked at real good next to Noema, she trolled on every internet news outlet and trolled on it and said, she's guilty. I was the ex-spokesperson. With it underneath of everybody saying, oh, she's still missing. Oh, let's pray for her. And everything was good until she said those words, turned everybody back to the same page.
Look, even the news, they said, is she coming? I said, no, she's not coming.
Yeah,
they said they tried to get in touch with her, but she didn't answer. So, I mean, it's not like anybody put her name down or anything. They just asked. It's not a big deal anymore.
Right, and we still don't even talk about that. So if we really wanted to take it out there, we can actually show people through the news outlet if we really wanted to, but we don't do that because that's not even what we're here for. What we're here for is to please stop the stuff, because none of that stuff is going to find Dulce. And yes, we do reserve the right to defend ourselves.
Yes, we do.
Okay? Because we're not going to allow somebody to say that we're sent to harm. That's not going to work. That's not how it works.
No.
But anyway,
It's gonna happen.
Like I said, there shouldn't only just be one voice standing behind this child. And it doesn't even really have to be her family. Because you know what? She could have been your granddaughter. She could have been your cousin. She could have been your daughter. Just like Noema could be your friend. She could be anybody, right? And then we're going to have grandkids. You think I want my grandkids running around Cumberland County knowing that there's a kidnapper on the loose? Especially, I didn't even know about little Billy who disappeared 55 years ago.
Yeah. The only one I knew was Mark. That's the only one.
And you know what? And it would make Billy's abductor 70-something years old. So that would technically make little Billy's abductor still living. So how you don't even know if little Billy's abductor was the one that came and did this? Because you know what? Little Billy at that time was the same age that Dulce Maria was when she disappeared. So how don't we know that 55 years later he got another craving and went and visited a whole nother city? You don't know that.
We don't know that. Nobody knows
because nobody knew Billy was missing. And if everybody's shot, guess what? Nobody's gonna know Dulce was missing.
Yes. It's gonna go quiet or become a cold case.
Right. But sometimes bad things need to happen in order to gain attention, because hopefully this will get to the right law enforcement or the right detective or the right FBI and say, you know what, I'm having a little bit of issues here with some credibility. But anyway, there's a new FBI man coming in, right? Fresh set of eyes.
Fresh set of eyes.
He better look at this whole case, honey. Inside out, backwards, flip it and reverse it. That's how he should look at it. Fresh set of eyes.
Fresh set of eyes. Because after 2 years, there's nothing. It becomes a cold case.
Right.
That's what my friend.
Right.
Well, my cousins.
And how are you going to get the community to step forward and speak and say something if they remember anything? How are you going to get the community to step forward if you're initiating fear?
You're not going to.
At first, fear was initiated when Dulce went missing due to the Cohansey River. You remember that?
Yes.
Oh, don't go in the Cohansey because the devil is going to drag you down there and blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third. Don't go chasing for her because the devil's out there. And all of this stuff. The devil wants her soul. The whole time, never even told Noema that was going on. The whole time, never even said anything.
No.
You know, there was a lot of distractions from actually allowing people to go out there and find out the truth, what was really going on, without you hearing it from other people. You know, this is the kind of case that you would want to go out there and see for yourself and find out for yourself. And, you know, and look into details for yourself. And now we know.
Well, there was always something like I was searching and people didn't want, you know, I don't know.
Right. We wasn't allowed to do anything.
But I still search. I said, I don't care.
If we tried to do a search on Tuesday, we weren't allowed. It had to be on Sunday. If we had to do a search on Thursday,
5 to 6 days a week. I searched.
We weren't allowed. It had to be on Sunday.
We went out every single day. We didn't care. We didn't care.
There was always a set date and a set time. You don't have set days and set times when a child is missing.
No.
You go out there, yeah, every day.
The first 48 hours.
Right. Are very important.
Yeah.
And anything else after that. You want to put out there.
Went and then, or 30
you want to put out there and say, hey, send me some information. Dulce is still missing. But at the same time, be careful because there's people doing this, that, and the third. So, like, just sending confusing messages. It's either find the baby or don't find the baby.
Right.
And you could speak on the baby. Speak all day. Speak positive things about the baby. Say good things about the baby. Because then you can start turning the community's minds, these people's minds, and knowing that it's okay to come forward if they have information. She was 5 years old at that time. I don't even know how many times I'm going to stress the fact that she was 5 years old at the time. And she is 7, soon to be 8.
8, and this is April. Going to be her 3rd year missing.
Oh, and be ready because her family is planning a birthday bash for her birthday. Yes, remember I was telling you we got to keep on going it. So
you didn't listen to that song yet, did you?
No, I didn't listen to the song yet.
You need to listen to that song.
I think it got lost in our message.
Speechless.
Speechless, right?
From Aladdin.
Yeah. So we're gonna have
Speechless.
We're gonna have my niece sing again. We're gonna have my other niece dancing again with Anna joining. Anna's gonna join because she's got a beautiful voice, not only just to talk about Dulce, but she can sing her little heart away. So, but anyway, you would want. I just say it like this. That we have to step forward and allow the community to do their job and come up with information on their own so Dulce can come home.
That's all we want is Dulce to come home. We're not out for the drama.
So, and if, like I said, hey, I guess we've got complaints put on us. I mean, we have, like I said, we haven't even had a chance to step a foot, but we did call. We called faithfully every day. We spoke to people every day.
And they said it's floating.
And they said it was floating
hasn't even,
because it was
not assigned a prosecutor yet.
It was taken out of one place to put it in another, and then they got to send it up to Brishan so Brishan could take a look at it because, once again, her name was tagged onto it.
Exactly.
Poor little Dulce Maria Alavez.
Her mom's name was in it.
And her mom's name was tagged on it. If anything, if she really thought that, she should have put complaints on her, but she didn't.
No.
She didn't because she knows that she can slander Noema all day long, and Noema's just going to stick there and just not worry about her like that.
Not worry about her.
No. Anyway, at this point, we're just going to, like I said, we're done. And
find a plug and plug my phone in, please.
We just hope that this year, from here on forward, that things are very, very different, and that this FBI come on and hurry up and relook into this case with his little fresh eyes that he's going to bring into his case. And we pray that he looks into truth in this case and finds a breakthrough in this case.
You know, because it's winter and they did it for summer, I really think that they should bring out a professional search group, EquiSearch, that will do it for free. Because it's winter and you can get into the brush more. Not saying that she's gone, but we don't know. Only God knows what happened.
Right. And how many times didn't they want to reach out to another search team to go and research? And it's just, you know, there's just a lot of things out there.
I understand because I know that she asked for a search team to come out and they told her no. For what reason? I don't know. But that's not her fault. That's the police fault, even though, they did their best, but I would have been,
Right.
They should have just allowed him to come in, because,
and I think that it was the credibility of the family too. They don't have a very great background with the law, right? Because unfortunately, like many of us, we don't have great backgrounds with the law.
Right.
So guess what? They didn't even have the opportunity to not even stand up for themselves for Dulce.
Right.
Because they probably thought in their own little world, probably it was my background. So they had to fall back from a little bit. And like Noema said, she was scared for a long time to go outside with her kids. Why wasn't she allowed to be scared and want to be enclosed in her home? Because she felt
that they were going to come after one of her kids or her.
Right. That they was going to come because they don't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Right. She was still fearing of coming out. She was still fearing.
For real. Right now, if we're getting search teams and all that stuff to search that area, I mean, what are we searching for?
Well, not necessarily Dulce herself, but we're hoping to find things that could have belonged to her. Like they he took her clothing off in the park and buried it somewhere else. Or maybe a way that they could have taken that was more secluded. We don't know. Just like Noema doesn't know, but she does know that even if you have to search the place 3,000 times, a person, they're not going to feel comfortable that the work was done. So if they want to research the place 3,000 times and still hear the same word no, they probably don't even sleep well at night knowing that they swept the place 3,000 times and nothing was there. You understand? That's like finding out that you're pregnant. Like me. Like when I found out I was pregnant, I was going to the doctors with my little one. They kept telling me I had bronchitis. So for 7 months, I thought I had bronchitis. So when I took a pregnancy test, not only did I take one, but I took 13 of them from the Dollar Tree, spread them all over the floor of my job, and it was still, each one of them said pregnant. And then I still went out there and bought Clear Blue, 2 tests, pissed on it, and I was still pregnant. So did I want to believe I was pregnant? No. That's just like them. They're going to do a sweep 3,000 times because they don't believe that they can't find her.
Well, they only searched the park, and it says it when I posted it on my group that they searched a mile to a mile and a half in each direction. So that would mean they searched 360. So if you go out a mile, which will be Hopewell, mile and a half will be almost halfway through Hopewell. Doesn't matter if there's woods or not, you still need to search the 360 all the way around.
I mean, they do their searches because I remember one time running into the police here, right out here where I'm at actually, and when my husband went and gave them a flyer, he stated, he was like, "Oh, I know about her. She has ties in Atlantic City." I think I remember I told you.
Yeah.
And in Egg Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
So, for him saying that he knew who she was. And that she has ties in Atlantic City, that could have meant family. And, it could mean
that's what you're talking about. You're talking about when they came to ask about our surveillance.
Our surveillance, yeah.
They wanted to look at our camera. Yeah.
And we was kind of like, well, here, while you're here.
Right.
Because they weren't from Cumberland County. They were from Atlantic County.
Oh, wow.
And that's what was weird. So he was like, yeah, she has ties in Atlantic County and in Egg Harbor. So that means that her face is circulating through there and they are looking for her. They're not looking for us. They're wasting time.
They would have been at our houses already.
That's wasting time. That's wasting the police's time deterring from exactly what's happening, that she's still missing.
Yes.
Them police know what they're doing. You cannot be smarter than the law. Just because how many years later she still hasn't been found doesn't mean. Let me tell you, those cold cases, 35 years later, honey, they're still gonna find that ass. Okay? And with all of this technology that's going on right now, they're still gonna find that ass.
Yeah.
Okay? Brushing might have been a little bit delayed because maybe they don't have like the funds or anything like that. I don't even know what was going on in the beginning, but you know, think about it. Brushing did the Nakira, the Grimes case that happened in February.
Right.
February of 2019, where that lady, she killed her 2-year-old son because he didn't want to eat.
Right.
Then she cut him up. She said that right there in the alley in Brushing, somebody took her baby, knocked her out, whatever. And the whole time, she was the one that killed her child. So I can understand why Brushing thought maybe Noema had something to do with it because of her credibility, right?
Right. And
because of her background, right? Because of Griner in February.
But they shouldn't be taking.
But they have to, because you know what? They went around looking for a missing child that was actually dead,
right?
And that the mom committed it.
And they found.
So I can understand. I can understand why they took Noema for those hours and interrogated her, because her background and that family's background is not so great. But that's what they're supposed to do.
Right.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's how they do. I'm sure. I'm almost positive that they interrogated the hell out of Naoma when.
Oh yeah, she said it.
Missing.
Oh yeah,
she said it.
I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they're eliminating areas as they search them. As Melanie Dawn said, she said that they should search the areas and eliminate areas that they have already searched. I wonder if that's something that they have already done.
I mean, I'm guessing so, because they haven't yet allowed another search team to come in. It's because maybe they honestly think that she's not in Brushing. They exhausted all their measurements in Brushing. She's probably not there.
If they had a search team come in, it would maybe scare the person that took her. They need to have a search team come.
Maybe this is a backwards case. The Griner's case, he was searching for a missing child, and the whole time the mother actually did kill him. Maybe this case is backwards. Maybe you're thinking that this family has something to do with it, but on all the time, Dulce was really taken by a random person.
They can assume that, oh, well, the family has something to do with it, but
they're always in tune with the FBI. How many times since September have we seen that they've been talking to the police? I can't even count how many numerous times she's been talking to the police.
Yeah. With the FBI.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's only the FBI.
The FBI is the lead people in this case.
But that means that they don't have anything.
I mean, they get anything.
Keep on going back and asking her and asking Manny and her sister and all that. They don't have anything. I'm sorry. That's how I see it. That's how I see it.
Well, they're young, so you have to keep Manny's brain going, because Manny literally is the only witness left to know exactly what happened to Dulce.
Right.
And it's his mind against everybody else's.
He's the one that saw the person.
So he's the one that saw the person. He's the one that seen the person lure Dulce to the back of behind those buildings and take her.
Do they have somebody working with? Do they have somebody working with little Manny? As far as
speech therapy.
Yeah, they have somebody. They're working with him. A speech therapist is working with him. They're trying to get him to say certain words that and I'm pretty sure, I think they might draw out. There's so many things that they were, but they are working with Manny. Mm-hmm. Yes, Manny is the only one that knows exactly what happened to Dulce.
Exactly.
Okay. And if it was any type of gang relations, you left somebody that's willing to look at you and point you out in a line.
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't make no sense. Only a person, an opportunist, will go and do that and then not want to come back to that area again.
Yeah.
But they work with him, because he's literally the only one, him and then those two girls at the basketball court, that say that she got strapped in, right? So it's only Manny and those two girls that know exactly what happened to Dulce.
Well, he might have strapped her in. Doesn't mean he didn't have good intentions.
No, but they took that van out, the Amber Alert, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Now they took the van out of the Amber Alert, and then you question why.
But then they should say, well, it wasn't a van.
Right. But anyway, you know, they work with him and they work with her. Like that day when we were supposed to do that little independent search, they worked with her. They wanted to pick up. They were picking up the grandma, Camila, and Manny. It was their turn to talk,
Right.
so they went. You know, they be in tune with this family. They be in tune with this family, and they know just about everybody that's searching for Dulce, especially the ones that stand out the most because they always look for behavior. That's their job. That's not ours. We're not a profiler. We don't know any of that stuff.
Gonna go in?
Yeah. But anyway, my sister-in-law was searching that night with her dog, but it wasn't. Yeah. Everybody's been searching. Well, anyway, with that being said, I am going to get off of this because it's almost 9 o'clock and we did not expect to be on here this long. But once again, we do hope that the community, somebody comes forward and say that they saw something. Because at this point, it is time for Dulce to come home.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's to that home that people want her to come to home or not, she still has to be found. So with that being said, we'll get back on probably not now, but in a few more weeks after now. So we are gone for the evening. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep. 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 All right. Thank you for popping on, Miss Brenda and
Anna.
Miss Anna. Yeah, Miss Anna. Thank y'all for coming through and blessing the channel with your presence. Thank you
With our beauty.
the viewers. Oh, you with your beauty. Yeah. Thanks to the viewers that were in the comment section.
On Instagram.
Thank y'all for coming through. This is about done for the evening. About to
You said I see you at 8:22 p.m.
get up. We're about to get up out of here. Yeah, we're about to get up out of here. And and you know what I'm saying? Make it a good night, I guess. Keep this little girl in your prayers. You know what I'm saying? Keep the negative people in your prayers as well. They need prayers too. Make it a phenomenal night, y'all. There's a $75,000 reward for any information that leads to this little girl being found. There's a $75,000 reward on that. And that other situation out of Fort Myers, Florida, that little girl in that case there. If you guys have any information about that, you know what I'm saying, report that. So with that said, my good peoples, this is your boy, Moises Beauchamp Jr. About to call it a night. Calling it a night. And that's how it's going to be from now on, Miss Dawn, Miss Melanie Dawn. We're going to keep the focus on where the focus needs to be, and that is little Dulce Maria Alavez. Like I said, you know what I'm saying, I was posting videos and things because of this lady's accusations and whatnot. But and you know, it's just mighty funny how, you know, she's all involved and causing all this madness, and you know what I'm saying, she's related to someone who's very well could probably be the person that took little Dulce Maria Alavez. Not saying that that's the case, but you know what I'm saying, could be. But yeah, with that said, my good peoples, I'm getting up out of here. Y'all make it a phenomenal evening. Y'all be blessed. I'm gone. Peace.
My enemies got their kids, so you cats don't know. Ask me to blast, no need to ask, cause I'm mashing. Peeping the latest fashion, copycats and plastics, give me the flash. My adversary shifting caskets, murdered them bastards. Witness the past got bombastic, now that they free me, no one can see me, I completely eradicated my competition, Father forgive me. Symbol the troops, prepare my loops for combustion, rushing the motherfuckers, the deadliest nigga bustin'. How can they touch me when they lost in thought? On death row, we lock shit down across the board. Now flash and watch me getting that ass like a bikini. Lyrical legendary, some niggas that never see me completely defeat me. Could never happen whether rapping or scrapping, niggas get smashed on their motherfucking back. Hard to kill and even harder to stop. Watch Kane and Pop drop the show shot. Tell a motherfucker you don't wanna die, and I don't wanna kill you. Keep my name out your mouth, boy.
Welcome to my world here on the internet. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp. Support the Felons Uprising movement today by picking up a free baseball cap or t-shirt. Just cover the shipping costs. Again, pick up a free baseball cap or t-shirt and support the Felons Uprising movement today. Just click on the link below and order your free state property no more t-shirt today.